Happy Kwanzaa. Hello, my name is Dr. Charles L. Remy II. I work at Texas State University. I'm a postdoc with the Honors College, and I have the honor of bringing to you all the fifth day of Kwanzaa, which is Nia, which is about purpose. So sit back, relax, and let's learn a little something about Nia. So Nia, again, means purpose, and it is the fifth day of Kwanzaa, and the term means to make our collective vocation to build, develop, and defend our community and its cultural history in order to restore our historical initiative and greatness and add good and beauty to the world. The symbol for Nia, as you can see to the left, is the Nefer, which actually is a symbol for good and beauty. Now, what is purpose? And I think the best way we can learn is from our own historical figures. And one of my favorite is Mary McLeod Bethune, who was not only a creator, but she was an educator and activist and well known. And she states, "We as African Americans must recognize that we are the custodians as well as heirs of a great civilization. We have given something to the world as a race, and for this, we are proud and fully conscious of our place in the total picture of humankind's development." So, purpose she's mentioning comes from three facts. One being we are heirs of a legacy. And having a legacy means that we have inherited something of value. The second being we are also custodians of this legacy. That means it is our job to defend, preserve, and enhance it for all to know and hear. And lastly, we must recognize and respect our legacy. And the only way we can do that is by having some purpose in it. So to help you understand a little more about purpose, I'd like to take you to a place in Africa called the Zulu Nation, where the Zulu people live. And they have an old story they call Where Stories Come From. Once upon a time, there was a mother by the name of Saba. She had many children, and they had lived a very happy life. They would weave, they would sew, they would hunt, they would farm, they would fish in their village. But at night, when all was done, the children still wanted to be happy. And so they asked their mother, Mama, we want stories." And Saba said, "Well, I don't have any stories." So she talked to her husband, Zinzeli, and said, "I'm gonna go find stories for our children and I will bring them back." And Zinzeli said, "I'll take care of the house while you go do that." So Saba went out into the bush looking for stories. She ran into a hare and said, "Hare, I'm looking for stories for my children. Is there anything that you know of that can help me?" The hare was a trickster and said, "Oh, I know thousands and millions of stories, but I'm too busy right now to share them. And it's the daytime, so who shares stories? No, I can't help you." And so he runs off. Saba continues in the bush looking, and she runs across the baboon with her family. And Saba says, "Oh, baboon, can you help me? My children ask for stories. I have none. Do you know of any?" And the baboon responds, "Ha! Human children are so frivolous. I spend all my time feeding, nurturing, and protecting. Why do I have no time for stories?" So Saba left the baboon. She then ran into the owl and asked the owl, "Owl, do you know of any stories that I may tell my children?" And the owl woke up from its perch and said, "You woke me up for this? No, I will not tell you any stories. Wait until the evening." And so the owl flew away, and Saba was very sad about that. But she continued into the bush. While she was there, she ran across the elephant, and she asked the elephant, "Elephant, I'm looking for stories for my children. Do you have any?" The elephant felt some type of sympathy for Saba and said, "Well, I don't know any, but my friend the eagle should know something. You should go check out check out eagle. So Manzandaba makes her journey to find the eagle. As she was by the river, she saw the eagle going down to catch a fish, and she yells out, "Eagle, eagle, I have a question." And the eagle in full flight stops and says, "How dare you stop me? And who's going to stop me from eating my meal?" And Manzandaba says, "I only come to you because you are the wisest and smartest of all the animals. I'd love to learn some stories. Will you be willing to tell me?" And the eagle, feeling very proud, said, "I know of no stories, but I do have a friend that does. Wait right here and I will go seek him out." So the eagle flew off and for several days was gone, and finally returned and said, "My friend has decided to help you, but you have to follow him." And she said, "Whatever you want, I'll do." And out of the ocean came the tortoise. And the tortoise said, "I don't know the stories, but I know of a people that do have stories that can help you. If you climb on my back, I will take you to them." And Manzandaba climbed on the tortoise's back, and the tortoise took her underwater to underwater city, where there were African kings and queens that lived. And so she sat amongst this royalty and bowed before them and said, "Great kings and queens, I seek stories from our village for my children so that they can have something to listen to." And they said, "We love your cause, but in order for us to do that, you have to do something for us." And she said, "Anything. At this point, what would you want?" And he said, "If you want to receive stories, you must bring us back something that lets us see who your people are, because we can never go to the land." She said, "I know someone that can help me." So she climbed on the tortoise's back and she left. And she told the tortoise, "In one moon, return back to this location and I'll have exactly what they want." So she went back to her village and ran into her husband and he shared with her all the things that she had done and all the animals that she had ran into, and was really excited. But to get the story she wanted, she needed a carving of some type. Zenzele was great with his hands and was a great carver, and said, "I will do it. I can create something for these great kings so that we can receive their stories." So he went right to work, carving out his family, where he had Manzandaba and his children, and even he brought in the village people. And the village people got excited about what Manzandaba had done, and so wanted to pose for Zenzele so that he can put them in the picture as well. So in one full moon, after Zenzele had finished what he had done, he had given it to Manzandaba, and she had returned to the sea people. When she returned to them, they were so impressed with the carving that they not only gave her a necklace of shells and said, "Anytime you ever want a story, just grab yourself a shell and listen to it." So the moral of the story is, purpose can usually start off as something personal, but then it also evolves into a collective need. Your purpose can help someone else out. And that, to me, is what NIA is about. Happy Kwanzaa.